Now, it's definitely been a couple of years of disruption in the workplace generally, with the pandemic and the change in the administration, which has quickly led to more developments and client requirements in ever more specialized practice areas. We'll start with one of our newer areas of research, which looks at the firms and attorneys who focus on defending companies accused of breaches of the False Claims Act. On the client side, we've seen a broader range of companies face whistleblower litigation. And so what we've seen on the law firm side is a greater recognition that this is becoming an area of really specialized expertise, and no longer something that's handled by white-collar litigators as part of their broader regulatory practices. And as you can see from the quotes to my right, the change in administration appears to be the latest in a series of indications that false claims enforcement is on the rise and that clients are increasingly turning towards specialist advice. The DOJ collected a pretty incredible $5.6 billion in recoveries last year, including some really significant recoveries in the opioid space. But what's also been interesting, as we can see here, is the growing number and broadening scope of these cases. Over the years, we've seen and spoken to hundreds of clients about their experiences defending intervened and non-intervened false claims cases, largely in the healthcare and defense contracting sectors. However, both clients and law firms tell us that they're beefing up their compliance and risk monitoring programs to cope with expected enforcement in the cybersecurity space, after the DOJ announced a new initiative to potentially go after contractors whose data protection and cybersecurity isn't quite up to scratch. We may also see a significant wave of enforcement after trillions of dollars were spent under the CARES Act for coronavirus relief, with companies that made use of the Paycheck Protection Program expecting increased scrutiny. Specialist False Claims Act work is something that has very quickly become a bigger and more distinct area of practice, an area that is appearing as a brand new section in Chambers USA 2022 for the first time today. Our second area of increasing specialism has been in the occupational health and safety field. Now, given the events of the past 2 years, we all know that in-house counsel have had a tough time of it when it comes to labor and employment law. In between managing the move to remote work and then back again to the office, one of the additional legal concerns this year was compliance with the Biden administration's vaccine and testing mandate. The vaccine mandate was front of mind for both the in-house counsel and private practice lawyers we spoke to this year during our labor and employment research, as big employers started grappling with compliance across large and dispersed workforces. This year, the Chambers research team spent a significant amount of time investigating attorneys who really specialize in providing OSHA counsel and defending enforcement actions. The firms that you can see on the screen now are all listed in our inaugural OSHA rankings and are recognized by peers and clients alike for their strength in health and safety law. We're continuing to focus on this area in our next round of research, because even though the emergency standard that the government used for the mandate was quickly tied up in litigation and then eventually withdrawn in January of this year, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration has suggested it is still working on a permanent healthcare standard for COVID-19 safety. So clients are still wary of potential additional hurdles and compliance headaches later down the line. The enhanced profile of both False Claims Act and OSHA counsel are two of the most significant new areas of coverage this year. We know they will be useful for clients seeking out specialist counsel.